Hey everyone, Tina Hogan Grant here with my Cuppa A Natter that I like to do on a Monday, twice a month. I'm the author of 14 books, and I like to bring authors into my home. We talk about books, writing, life as an author, and whatever comes to mind. And tonight, Dylan Brennan is joining me all the way from the UK. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I am good. Thank you so much for staying up. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning over there, but you
Yep.
said to me you're not tired. You're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll be fine.
You're not going to fall asleep while we're chatting.
No, no, no.
What part of the UK are you in?
London.
London. I was born in Ilkley. Do you know Ilkley?
Actually, no.
It's in the Yorkshire, West Yorkshire,
Oh, okay.
up north. Icklamore by tap, as we used to say. But I grew up in England, and I came over here in 1979. So, but the one thing I do want to point to our audience is that you were only 16 when your first book was published, and you are now 17, correct?
Yep.
That's amazing. 16
Thank you.
years old and you got a book published. That's
Yeah.
incredible. And how many pages is this book?
460.
So it's not a small book.
No.
That is incredible. The book is called Noble Betrayed, correct?
Yep.
And do you have it so we can look at the beautiful cover?
Here it is. Oh, the blurring the background is a bit.
There we go. Oh, a little bit back.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, kind of. A little blurry.
Yeah.
But it is a beautiful cover. Did you
Look,
have any?
look it up on Amazon. Yeah.
There you go. Did you design the cover?
No, I had a team at Amazon that helped me with it.
And how long did it take you to write this book? If it was published when you were 16, how long did it take you to write this book?
I started during quarantine. I think probably around April 2020, and then I just got it published in October, so 2 years and a half.
Congratulations. And what genre is it?
Fantasy.
Fantasy. Can you give me a little background of what the book's about without giving too much away?
So there are it has a very diverse cast. Like, it has multiple points of views of different characters, but the main point of view character is Lord Simon Parjan, who is he's one of the lords in the kingdom, and he gets an offer from his old friend, who is the king. His name is Eminar, to act as the High Jarl of the kingdom. High Jarl is the second in command position, so it's really high up, and it's not something that Simon would usually do because he's quite introverted compared to most of the other lords. And it comes at a really bad time because his wife Gwendis takes it as an opportunity to get back at him for years of domestic abuse. And while that is going on, there's also a plot to assassinate the king that the council finds out about, and they believe that it's being orchestrated by Gwendis's brother Tyrell. So everyone gets wrapped in this giant plot to assassinate the king, as well as the more private conflict between Simon and his wife.
Sounds really intriguing. Now, you're 16. What is the age group for this book?
I would say mostly teenagers, people around my age. But I think people older than me would be able to appreciate it as well, especially because they tackle themes like domestic abuse, which there are messages that every age group can extract from that. So
incredible. I have plenty more questions regarding the book, but we have a lot of people joining us. So I do want to just pause for a minute and say hello to a lot of these people. Again, I'm talking to Dylan Brennan, 17 years old, had his first book published when he was 16, all the way from England. It's 1 o'clock there, so I really appreciate him staying up so he can chat to us all. But let's see who's here. We've got Virgie Lane. She says hello.
Hi.
Again, and if you have any questions for Dylan, go ahead and put them in the comments. You know, I'll try and get to as many as I can. We have Karen. She says hello. Facebook user, hello, Tina and Dylan. You must be in my group. I'm just going to go down the list, Dylan, so you can see who's here. Lori is here. Renee, she says good evening. We have another one in the group. She says hello. And then Renee says amazing. And I know she's talking about your age because I'm just in awe that you are 16 years old and you wrote a book. I think that's just, I love that. I love that. What, while I'm going down the list, what number one inspired this book, the storyline?
I was reading a lot of fantasy over quarantine, and like I think I read all of the A Song of Ice and Fire books over quarantine. I've read the Witcher series as well. So I'm a really big fantasy fan. So that inspired me to want to write fantasy. And I started off with just a list of all the characters because I knew that I wanted to do this kind of big project over quarantine. And from that point, it just evolved. Different ideas popped into my head, and eventually I managed to put it all together into what is now A Novel Betrayed.
That's incredible. And any of the characters based on anyone you know?
None of them are entirely based on people that I know, but there are characters whose names are based on people that I know. I have several characters who are named after my teachers, for example.
Do your teachers know?
They do, yeah. A lot of
Oh,
them have bought the book as well, and they think it's amazing to see that I've honored them through putting their name in my book, so that it's there forever.
And you are still in school. Is this your last year of school? You're 17. Is this your last year?
Next year will be my last year, and then I'm off to uni.
So, what do your schoolmates think about you having a book out?
They think it's unreal, yeah.
And now, have they read your book?
Some of them have, yeah.
And they've enjoyed it?
They have. It's really hard to get other teenagers to read nowadays, but I have found that my story has inspired some other people my age to try and write their own books, which is really nice to see. I've had some people like DM me on Instagram and places like them telling me that they're writing a book and they're asking for advice and things like that.
That's fantastic.
And they're all around my age, so it's really nice to see.
Do you think you'll be doing like school speeches, going to schools and talking about your experience and what you've accomplished? To maybe
I would like to do that. I haven't done that yet. I did speak at a literary festival, which was held over here, and it wasn't a huge literary festival, but it had a really big crowd of people that I didn't know at all, and they found my speech really moving, and I think I inspired a lot of people going there because it was full of people who are a lot younger than me.
Right. And have you always loved to read and write?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Anyone else in your family enjoy reading and writing as much as you, or is it something that
I think it was more so school that pushed me into reading and writing. My parents don't do anything in the literary world or anything, so I think it was just my teachers realized that I had a gift for writing, and they kept trying to push it in me, and now it's led to me writing my own book.
Fantastic. I'm going to pop up a question. Laurie had a question. She wants to know, what made you decide to write the book?
It was the quarantine boredom, and it was always a dream of mine. People kept asking me when I was actually going to write my first book, because I kept writing shorter stories instead of trying to commit to a larger project. And because I had, I think, around a year spending my time at home doing very little of value, I thought that it was the perfect opportunity to start.
And you self-published this book too?
I did, yeah.
Wow, incredible. Now, is this a standalone, or do you think it's going to be a series? It's going to be a series?
Yeah, trilogy, most likely, yeah.
And do you have any idea how many books will be in the series, or are you just going to continue writing until there's no more?
I think a trilogy is the most likely.
With the same characters, or are you going to introduce?
Yeah, people? I mean, there are some that die at the end of Noble Betrayed, and I'm sure some of them will die in the second and third. But yeah, it'll be the same set of characters.
Now, you go to school. Now, what time are you in school till?
8:45 till 3:10.
So when do you have time to write?
I just somehow find time. Some days I don't get a lot of homework, so those are the days that I take the chance. Sometimes I just do a lot of it during my breaks, and sometimes I do it over weekends as well. But this year especially, the workload has increased a lot, so it is a lot harder to find time to write, but I'm managing.
It sounds like you are. Now, do you plot your books, or
Yeah, I do.
You do plot your books.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the beginning, the middle, and the end prior to writing it.
Yeah, for the most part, a lot of it will change in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with Noble Betrayed, there was one character that I was planning on keeping alive, but in the end, I decided that the best outcome for their story was to kill them to further someone else's storyline and make their storyline better.
Oh,
So yeah, the process does change a lot as I'm writing it, but I do extensive planning when I'm writing my books.
excellent. And you write on a laptop? Do you write notepad style? How do you first write your book?
I do my actual writing on a laptop, but sometimes I will like sketch down ideas in a book on a pen and paper.
Okay. Now, a lot of authors say the characters talk to them while they're writing. Does that happen to you?
Yeah,
It does.
especially
I'm not
especially
doing
because especially because I write from so many different points of view and it's all in first person.
it.
It's
Mm-hmm.
all just it's really just 500 pages of inner monologues of the different characters, and they're all different ages and they're all of different upbringings, so they all have completely different voices. So I need to get into their mindsets, really.
Right. That's a big book.
Yeah.
The first book, that is a big book. And you wrote it in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Wow. And you have an editor. It went out, you had an editor go through it too for you?
Yeah, I had some beta readers, and then Amazon had an editing team that helped me as well.
Oh, Amazon helped you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you have a favorite character? You said it has a lot of characters. Was there one that particularly stands out and you just enjoy writing?
I mean, this changes a lot, but I think the character that I found most interesting to write was one of Simon's sons, whose name is Dayron, because he's deaf and he's a point of view character. So it's really interesting to write from the first person perspective of a deaf person because you can't rely on dialogue at all.
That's true.
So the chapters are extremely descriptive, so I have a lot of fun writing the descriptions rather than needing to use dialogue to push the story forward. I think it's the most unconventional writing that I do in Noble Betrayed. So yeah, I think I would say that he's one of my favorite characters.
That's quite a challenge too. To write from a deaf man's a man, female. Is it a man?
He's an 8-year-old boy.
Oh, an 8-year-old boy. That's quite a challenge. I want to put up some more comments for you to see. This one's really cool. I absolutely love Dylan's accent. We had to put that one up. And then we have Karen here. She says, so glad to have you. Love your accent. There's another one that loves your accent, Dylan. Here's a good question from Laurie for you. Which authors inspire you or are the ones that you enjoy reading?
For when it came to Noble Betrayed, my main influences were George R.R. Martin, J.R.R. Tolkien, and Andrzej Sapkowski, who wrote The Witcher. But these days, because English is leading to me discovering lots of different authors, there are authors from other genres that are helping me write in genres that they never wrote in as well. For example, I've recently read The Great Gatsby at school, so F. Scott Fitzgerald is having a big impact on the way that I write. There's William Shakespeare. I'm reading Edgar Allan Poe stories at the moment, so he's got a big influence on me. So yeah, my influences come from a bit of everywhere, I would say.
Oh, incredible. Do you have siblings?
No.
You're the only child?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming your parents have read your books?
Yes.
They must be super proud.
They are, yeah.
I mean, your mother contacted me, and I can just, from her emails, I can just tell the pride that she feels for you. I mean,
yeah, she was my first beta reader. The second that I finished my first draft, she was the first one that always read it.
And what did your mom say when you told her you want to write a book? You must have been, what, 14 when this idea came about?
I was, yeah. They weren't 100% sure that I would commit to it at first, but when I got probably about 8 or 9 chapters in, that I think that's when it finally, the realization kicked in that I was going to finish this. And I think that was when the pride started to really come through.
Wow. Now, you started this book at 14, but did you start any writing earlier than that?
Yes, but most of it is not published. I got published in a short story collection full of different young writers when I was about maybe 9 or 10, something like that. But other than that, my writing wasn't published, but I've been writing different stories that I never published since the age of 8, probably, or 7.
Amazing. And just absolutely amazing. And you're going to continue on with this as your career?
I'm studying to be a lawyer, so I'll probably be multitasking law with English, but I don't plan on stopping writing anytime soon.
Wow, you are just one ambitious boy.
Yeah.
Young man, I should say. Young man, just ambitious. Where are you going to go to law school? Do you know yet?
I don't know. I have to apply for Oxford. I have to apply in October, and for everything else, I have to apply in January. So I have to make my mind up soon.
Your mum's got to be super proud. Renee has a question for you. She wants to know, have you done any book signings, or do you want to?
I have not. I've signed my book for some friends and people who have asked me to, but I haven't done an official book signing, but I would love to.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of book festivals they have in England. I'm so out of touch. But I know they have some great festivals in London. I mean, you're
They
in
do.
the heart of it.
I've been to one already, so I would like to go to more. It's just I don't have a lot of time because
No,
of
you
school.
don't. Not with school and writing your book. It's
Yeah.
just amazing. Now, your book is available worldwide. It's not just in England. It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. Is it in Kindle Unlimited?
It is, yeah.
It is, and that's worldwide too, in Amazon. It's in the UK.
I think so, yeah.
Excellent. And you're currently working on book 2?
I'm currently working on something that isn't fantasy, which is called Master Misfortune, and it's a tragedy. So I knew that after I finished my first fantasy book, I wanted to do something completely different, just to establish that fantasy isn't the only genre that I want to write. Mm-hmm. But then once Master Misfortune is out, which is a lot shorter than Noble Betrayed, I'll then go back to Noble and get that done.
And do you set yourself like a time frame of when, like right now you're working on a shorter story, do you set yourself a deadline to finish this book before you start the next one?
Very loosely. I would like to finish it by the end of 2023, but I don't know. I'd rather not force myself to stick to a deadline because I don't have a lot of free time as is. Right. And I can't guarantee that I will have sufficient free time to meet that deadline.
That's pretty smart. That's a good idea. And then once you finish that one, you'll start on book 2.
Yeah.
And do you have that pretty much plotted out, how book 2 is going to go, or is that something you have to work on?
It's mostly plotted out, yeah. There are just still like small details that I'm trying to smoothen, but for the most part, I know what is going to happen. Yeah.
Incredible.
And the stakes are going to definitely be upped in the second one. It's going to have more points of views. It's going to be more chaotic. So yeah, I'm going to have fun writing that one.
When it comes to your writing, obviously you love to write, but is there a process that you find very difficult, whether it be writing about the characters or editing, thinking of the cover? What process do you find the hardest when it comes to writing a book?
There are some chapters where I know how I want it to begin and how I want it to end, but I know that I can't just have the beginning and the end point, and you need to get from A to B. Mm-hmm. And I can find that hard a lot of the time because it's just filling stuff in until it gets to the good part, but you have to do that. The filler is necessary.
Yeah. Did you take creative writing at school?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I bet you got good grades, huh?
I do, yeah.
That's incredible. More comments for you. I agree that putting those kinds of deadlines can feel so confining. I agree with you being at school full time. There's just so much you can do in a day. Are you a night owl? Do you sit up, with school, even though you have school, you're young. Did you work into the early hours of the morning writing? Or?
Only on Fridays and Saturdays. I tried to be asleep before midnight when school or some other event is the next day.
Right. Okay. And then Kelly, if we can, she wants to see if we can get the title again. It is Noble Betrayed. Let's see if we can get that cover again, maybe without the glass. We'll give it one more try. Because it's a gorgeous cover.
Let
Let's
me
see if we
try.
can.
Come on.
Ah,
There we
there you
go.
go, right there. A
Oh, the
little bit of
glare.
light.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
That's gorgeous. Did you have any say in that cover? The colors, the font?
I gave them a rough idea, and they made it amazing.
It's beautiful, and I love the glass look to it. Who are
Yeah.
those two who do those two characters represent on the cover? Do they represent
Simon and Gwendis, the main characters? Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any ideas how the next cover is going to look, or that's something you're not even thinking about right now until you get the book done?
I have no idea, because the problem with the second book is there isn't one concrete storyline that everything revolves around. The second book is going to be called Noble Divided, and just like the name implies, everyone is in a completely different place. So there isn't one storyline that ties everything together like there is in Noble Betrayed. So it's really difficult to work out what I want to be on the cover, because I don't know which characters to make it revolve around.
Right. Okay, I got it. Renee's asking, you don't sound nervous at all. Do you do a lot of public speaking?
I've done podcasts before, yeah. So, but I think because I've done podcasts several times, I think I mostly know what kinds of details I want to say. So I think that helps. Otherwise, I would definitely be nervous.
I think you're doing brilliant. Do you mainly do podcasts in the UK, or you try and get worldwide?
Yeah, I tried to get worldwide. I've done some in America as well.
Okay.
And Canada, I think.
Oh, in Canada too?
Yeah.
Excellent. What is your audience like in the US? I mean, I've looked at the reviews for the US Amazon, and the reviews are outstanding. I think you just have 100% 5 stars.
Yeah, I have a really good following in America. My paternal grandparents live in America, so I do have family in America, but there is a solid community of fans that I have in America. But I have fans all over the world, really. I've gotten some sales in Brazil. I've gotten some sales in Australia, some in Spain, some in India. I just got a payment in rupees, which was mind-boggling to me. So yeah, it's gone all over the world, really.
And what do you do other than podcasts to promote not only your book but yourself?
I have social media. I mostly post on Instagram and TikTok, and I posted a TikTok where I gave my book to Ian McKellen.
Oh, wow.
And that got about 100,000 views on TikTok, and it blew up.
Now, if the audience don't know, let us know who Ian McKellen is and how that happened. How did that come about?
Ian McKellen is the actor for Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings. So the man with the grey beard. I think everyone knows who Gandalf is. And he was in the UK performing Mother Goose, which is a pantomime. And I ran into him in the street, and I had the book with me, so I gave it to him, and he was really nice, and he asked me to sign it for him as well.
Did you hear back from him after he got the book?
I haven't heard back from him, actually.
Oh, I want to see that review.
Same.
When did that happen?
Months ago now.
A few months ago?
Yeah.
100,000 on TikTok. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thank you.
TikTok is a great way to reach out to people. It really
is. The algorithm means that you can get views and followers really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's right now it's the number one social media that people should be using.
It is, and especially for your age group.
Yeah.
So many your age group on TikTok that it's just a great way. It really is. Now, I asked you about what was the hardest part about writing this book, Noble Betrayal. What do you love about writing? What inspires you? Where do you get your enthusiasm for? What is it you like so much about it?
My head is always bustling with ideas, whether it's like a setting or a character or an event that I could write out that would be fun, or just like a line that comes into my head that I really like. So I want to put it on paper or on a computer. So I think what I love the most is being able to take the stuff that comes into my strange brain and then put it somewhere where I can leave it for a really long time and people can enjoy what comes into my head and fleshing it out. I think that's what I love the most.
Incredible. I like this comment right here. Someone in our group, Facebook group, said, the world is your plate. You are going places, young man. When you said you want to study law too, what kind of law do you want to practice?
I have no idea really, because with most courses they let you see a bit of every type of law, so I will get to work it out. But criminal interests me a lot. So does like data protection and internet related law, because I think those will be really useful in the coming years.
Right. And I'm going to ask this, but I don't know if you have the time. Do you watch any TV shows, your favorite TV shows or movies?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Which were your favorites?
I mean, I love some of the classics like Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, like shows that I think everyone says are their favorites, to be honest. Another one of my favorites is Dark, which is on Netflix. It's a German time travel show. That's a show that I really love. And then I love some comedies as well, like Friends is fun, The Big Bang Theory, Community, those sorts of shows.
Oh, great shows.
And then in terms of movies, I mean, I've seen tons of different genres. I just watched The Breakfast Club for the first time a few days ago, and I loved it. So yeah, I like watching movies from different periods. So like I'll watch 80s movies, but then also modern movies as well.
I just wasn't sure if you had time to watch any TV. Your plate is full. You said you have grandparents in the U.S.?
Yeah, I think they're watching.
They are watching?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hey, grandparents. What part of the U.S. are they in?
Colorado.
Colorado. Have you been to the States?
No, I haven't.
Oh, my sister's in Colorado. She's in Grand Junction. I'm not sure where your grandparents are, but I have a sister in Grand Junction. Do you think you'll be out here in the States anytime soon?
Hopefully.
Yeah? Colorado, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to look into like some book fairs before you come over and see if you can sign up.
Yeah, that would be the plan, yeah. I generally go to Spain every year because that's where my maternal side of the family is from. But I should be looking into Spanish book fairs as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to put this up. She stepped away. I'm sorry I stepped away. Did you talk about what genre this young man's book is? So if you want to just go over that one more time for Kelly.
Epic fantasy. I guess I would say low fantasy because it doesn't have a lot of elves or magic or anything. It's mostly focused on like knights and medieval stuff. Yeah.
And then the shorter story that you're working on now, what genre is that?
Tragedy.
Tragedy. And do you have a title for that one?
Master Misfortune.
Wow. And do you think you'll try any other genres?
I would like to write a story that's maybe crime or something like that, something involving maybe a gang or something. But I am using Noble as an excuse to look at other genres within a fantasy setting as well. So, for example, in the second book, Noble Divided, one of the characters is going to be going through a murder mystery. So I'll be able to write a murder mystery in a fantasy setting, which is another genre that I love.
And if you study the attorney too, you'll have all that background.
Yeah, so that'll be useful, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow, incredible. I wanted to put this, the title. How did you come up with the title for the book?
I don't actually know. It just came into my head one day. But it is, I would say that it is a very good summary of what happens. There are a lot of nobles, and betrayal is one of the key themes of the book. There are all kinds of betrayals. Everyone gets betrayed by everyone in some way.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Just the title is very catchy. The cover is very catchy, and yeah. I like what book 2 again is called. What? I'm sorry.
Noble Divided.
And then probably book 3 will have the word noble in it too. I'm assuming. But
yeah.
That's down there. Once you've written the book and it's gone through the edits and everything, how long did it take before you got it out there in the book world?
I think I finished my edits around summer, so probably around August, and then it was out in October. I remember I was in Spain when I got when I saw the first draft of the cover design. So I assume that I finished it around the end of summer, the editing.
And you were still 16 when it went on to Amazon worldwide.
Yeah.
What did you do to celebrate? 16 years old, you have your first book out there.
Yeah, when the first draft of the cover was sent to me, I was at a restaurant in Spain with my parents and my aunt and her boyfriend. And I remember just opening my phone and looking at my emails, and suddenly it's there, and I show everyone, and everyone is screaming. And yeah, that was a really great day. But yeah, it was insane to think that it finally got released. And I think the most insane part was when I finally had it in my hands, like the first physical copy. That was incredible. I remember coming home from school and just suddenly getting a parcel, opening it, and it's in my hands, and I'm just it was, yeah, it was insane.
Emotional, I'm sure, and I'm sure your parents got very emotional.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. It really is. And there's this question right here: how did you celebrate when you got your first book published? So, did you have any other celebrations other than you being in Spain? Did you do something afterwards when you got home and received that book?
I can't really think of anything. I know that I sent an email to every teacher that I've had that was still at the school, telling them about my book, and I got overwhelmingly positive response from that. And then I was telling friends about it as well. A lot of my friends, I mean, they knew that I had been writing it since 2020, so it was great for them as well.
Yeah. I like this comment. My gosh, so fascinating. Your mind is incredible at such a young age. This just jumped to the top of my list.
Thank you.
I want to also, if your mother's watching, I'm thinking she is, if she could put your TikTok username or link in the comments.
It's EL Brennan 51. So yeah, EL Brennan 51. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the same for Instagram as well.
Perfect. EL Brennan 51. We're going to look you up and follow you. And I want to see the video. Kelly, do you find it hard to shut your brain down when you need to, like sleep?
Sometimes. It really depends on the day, but my brain can just get really exhausted at the end of the day, so sleep isn't always a problem.
What a surprise.
Yeah.
When you're not writing or going to school, do you have some other hobbies that you like to involve yourself in just to get away from the curriculum of writing in school?
Yeah, I mean, I have a piano behind me right now. I know you can't see it, but yeah, I play instruments. I have a guitar as well. I do reading. I play video games with my friends, those sorts of things. Average teenager things.
Where'd you learn to play the piano and guitar, at school?
With the piano, I've been playing since primary school. And I've done 5 or 6 of the grades. And then with guitar, it was something that my piano tutor gave me. So I've just been practicing it every now and then. I haven't had any formal training.
Incredible. Claudia says, this is one of the best interviews I've seen, Dylan.
Thank you.
I want to put some comments up here. I love the names of the titles. I want to ask you, if you were talking to, like a young kid your age, and you said you've done some talks, and they want to write a book, they're probably 15, 16 years old, what advice would you give them, and what would you tell them in order to get their book published like you?
During the writing process, do extensive planning if you haven't started writing it yet. Make sure that you know what the end goal is for the most part, because if you don't write with an end goal in mind, then your book is going to feel less cohesive than it probably should be. And also do a lot of proofreading. Don't just do one draft and hope that everything is fine, because when you do proofreading, you'll find the plot. That's when you'll find the plot holes. And the person that will be best at finding the plot holes is you, because you know everything that you've written, or at least you should know everything that you've written. And with getting your book out there, I guess just don't be shy of doing everything possible. Just do as much marketing as you can. The internet likes things that are a little bit like funny or embarrassing. So don't be afraid of doing those sorts of things, because they will probably pay off.
Excellent advice. And you said you had some friends in school that are now wanting to write their books?
Yeah, I mean, not even just in school. There are people I've met online who are now, like, they've followed my Instagram account and messaged me telling me that I've inspired them to start writing their own books.
That's fantastic. That really is. And do you help them? Do you give them advice? And
I give them advice. Yeah, I don't try to get too involved because I've got my own stuff to write, but I would volunteer to read stuff for them whenever they finish it.
have you thought about? I'm not sure, you might even do it already. A writers group for writers your age.
That would be an interesting idea. Yeah, I haven't thought about that.
You could do like a Zoom. I know many writers that do
Yeah.
a Zoom meeting, and it's not often, like maybe once a month. And
Yeah.
it varies from giving each other tips, giving each other advice, and also sharing each other's works and getting feedback. But I think it's a great way, especially with your age group, to support each other that way too. It might be something you could look into when you have time.
Yeah, I would be interested in doing that. That is a good idea.
Yeah, with Zoom, I know you'll get a lot of people on board, especially with your talent and what you've achieved so far. Barbara would like to know, do your characters ever argue with you? And if so, who usually wins?
The characters, and yes.
Does it usually happen, when you're writing, or you just find yourself thinking about something and hear it in your head?
It's when I have an idea and the character says, no, I wouldn't do this. So then I change my mind and try to do something completely different that fits their character.
Okay. When you sit down and write, do you set yourself a goal of you want to write X amount of words in this sitting, or you just write until they stop talking?
I do set myself a goal, but if I don't completely meet the goal, but at least get a good way through it, then I will just let it go on to the next day. And I don't mind having a goal spread across multiple days. But I do generally have a milestone that I want to reach when I'm writing.
Okay. And
but a small one. I don't like deadlines.
That's good. I think it's very smart, like I said before, because of your schooling and everything, that you don't pressure yourself into deadlines or word counts. Now, what about if you have what a lot of people call writer's block and it's just not coming to you? Do you have a system of where you overcome it, or do you just walk away?
My system is to just not write at that particular moment and just live life until something inspires you. Your brain will continue thinking about the writers, about whatever's troubling you, whatever. If you can't solve a plot hole or something like that, your brain will continuously think about it, even if you aren't trying to. Eventually, it will come up with a solution, whether it's life giving you inspiration or your brain finally solving it. So instead of just staring at your words, putting yourself under unnecessary pressure, just live life, and eventually the solution will come.
Excellent. Renee's asked, I think I asked you this one. When you chose your characters, are they ever based on someone you actually know? For those that came in a little bit late, we did talk about this, but if you just want to.
So for Noble Betrayed, my characters none of them are entirely based on someone that I know, but I do have characters named after people that I know as a sort of a tribute to them. So I have several characters named after my teachers, for example, minor characters. But the main characters are they're my brain's concoctions rather than being based on real people.
Mm-hmm. Is your book on audio?
It is not, but I would like to do it, but I think I would want a cast rather than one narrator because of all the different first-person points of view.
And it's not cheap to put a book, especially a 400-page book.
Yeah, I know.
It's not going to be cheap. Well, I hope one day you're going to be cheap. Audio, because I'm working on mine on audio right now, and it's not cheap. So I understand that, but they are, like I said, on KU, paperback, not hardback though, right?
It is on hardback, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Congratulations. And how about large print?
Not large print.
Not large print. Okay. I want to put some comments up here. You're a remarkable young man. This has been a great interview. We're still here.
Thank you.
Karen wants to know, do you do lives often? You are doing amazing.
I've done a few. I think only about 3 of the podcasts that I've done have been live. But yeah, I mean, my brain is racing right now, but I don't think I exhibit that.
No, no. I mean, you're just doing incredible. You just seem so collective, so together, and it's 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what gets me. When you have an idea, something you said your brain never shuts off, even at school or whatever, and an idea pops into your head. What do you do so you don't forget about it? Do you have a notebook next to you? Do you pop it into your laptop? What do you do?
It's whatever's available. At school, I'm at the age now where I can bring a phone. So if it's at school, then I'll just put something on my notes app and then look at it later and finish it. But then if it's at home, I'll either type it up on my computer or I'll write it in a notebook, depending on what it is.
Okay. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? What kind of a goals do you want to achieve? I mean, you've already achieved a lot in your 17 years, but let's just round it off to 5 years. What do you hope to achieve in the next 5 years?
I think in 5 years, I think Noble might be done, but I don't know. Obviously, I would like to. I'll still be in uni at that point, but I'll be nearing the end of it. So yeah, I would like to just be finishing my law degree and having a secure job, but continuing my writing at the same time.
All kinds of goals.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, your mom, like I said, she reached out to me, and when I found out how old you were, I of course wanted you on my show. Does she handle a lot of your PR for you?
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of it myself as well, but she reaches out to people a lot just to support me, which I do very much appreciate.
Oh yeah, I mean, her son at 16 wrote his first book. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. Here we go. Talking about your mom. Your parents must be so damn proud.
Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna put some of these comments up that came in a little bit late. Kelly says 17. Janet is getting here. She says, hi, you all. 1 second. I want to put these up because there's just great comments. I'm so in awe with your achievements that you are answering questions before I can get them posted. Another one here. You are a remarkable young man. This has been that one I just popped up already. Do you do? Okay, that one I popped up. Okay, so I'm sorry. So this is your mom, right?
It is. Yeah.
That's your mom. She's up too, and you are on the holidays right now, so you have no school tomorrow.
No, I don't.
Okay, so you'll be able to sleep in.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. When do you go back to school?
Next week.
Next week. Yeah. How do you handle stress of school, writing, and all your accomplishments? What do you like to do other than school and writing?
So for the first question, I don't have really an extensive time management plan. It's just whenever it pops into my head, hey, I have free time. That's when those are the hours I'll mostly dedicate to writing. And then for what do I like to do other than school and writing? I did mention this earlier, but it's things like reading, music, video games, those sorts of things.
Any sports?
Average teenager things. No, not really, no.
No, okay.
I'll play them with friends sometimes for fun, but I don't professionally play any.
Right. And then Kelly wants to know, do you play video games? And
yes, very much, yeah. Many.
Which is your favorite?
Probably single player games like The Witcher 3 is one of my favorites. I love Mass Effect, those 3 games. I love those. Ghost of Tsushima was a game that my cousin got for me in the middle of 2020. And before that, I hadn't been a very heavy gamer. But after that game, it's like looking at a painting. It's gorgeous. And after that, I just had a streak of playing different games over quarantine. And I think all of them were a massive influence on my writing. Ghost of Tsushima in particular, with Noble Betrayed, has a big influence.
On the writing.
Yeah.
And you said you've been to Spain. That's where you were when your book was released.
I was, yeah.
Do you go to Spain often? Is that a place you go often?
It's my go-to summer destination, yeah. The south.
Oh, okay. Any other countries that you like that you visited?
I haven't. I've been to Portugal and France when I was a lot younger, but travel is something that my parents and I are planning to do a lot more in the coming years. So we're planning on visiting like other places in Europe, My mom wants to go to Italy. That's high on the list, so we'll probably go there at some point. America will most likely be up there.
I'm sure, especially
Yeah.
Colorado. I hope you
Yeah.
come to California. That's where I'm at.
I would like to go to California. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me know if you do. I mean, I was back in England last about 10 years ago, and I do miss it. Do you ever go north in England?
I haven't been north actually. I've been to Birmingham. That's the furthest north I've been.
Okay, I'm about, I don't know, about an hour north of Birmingham. What's your favorite place in England?
It's hard to say. I like I think Brighton, like the pier, is my favorite place. I just went to the University of Sussex a couple of days ago on a school trip, which is right next to Brighton Pier. But I've been to the pier, and it's got an arcade, and it's got like a theme park and things like that, and it looks amazing. I'd probably say Brighton. Yeah.
One of the things I miss about England, and people think I'm crazy, is the food. I miss British food. I do. I miss the pork pies. I miss the sausage rolls. I miss the fish and chips. Do you have a favorite natural British food? Not McDonald's, not
I mean, yeah, fish and chips. Yeah.
fish and
Fish and
chips.
chips.
I
Yeah,
love.
fish and chips. Yeah,
There's nothing like fish and chips. Do you have the mushy peas too?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. See, can't get that over here.
Yeah, in London it's a lot more diverse than other places, but you can still find British food.
I mean, yeah. When I lived over there, you have to in newspaper with ink. They don't do that anymore, of course, but that's what they used to do. Someone's saying you are going to make a great lawyer plus a writer on the side. Do you have a girlfriend? I knew that one was going to come up.
Not at the moment, no.
No, not at the moment.
No.
We're not going to embarrass you too much on that one. Gary says, I know this is personal, but will you use the dollars from your books for school?
Yeah, I'll use some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think I'll be able to make enough to cover everything because it's pretty expensive in the UK. But I will contribute some of it to uni. Yeah.
How did that feel when you got your first sale? I mean, the book coming out, and then all of a sudden you go to your Amazon dashboard, and then there's a sale. How did that feel?
The UK sales don't really faze me. It's the ones from countries that I've never really been to, where I don't even know people from these countries, and there are people buying my book. It phases me less when it's the UK, I think, because there's like always this sense that it could just be someone that I know. But then when it gets to these other countries, there is no chance that I know someone from this country. So I think those are the ones where it really hits me.
Now, it's really hard when you're self-published. I'm self-published, I know, to get your books out into the major bookstores.
Yeah.
Have you managed to get into any indie bookstores or major bookstores within your area?
I've gotten into a couple, yeah. And I've had a couple offers from other ones as well. I just haven't sorted them out yet.
Congratulations. Now, have you gone to those stores and seen your books on the shelves?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And do you think you'll do a book signing at the bookstore where your book is?
I would like to do one, yeah. And I'll probably do some at some festivals as well.
Great. Incredible. This chat has been amazing. It's getting to be 2:00 in the morning where you're at. Yeah. I don't want to keep you up too much longer, but you are just an inspiration to many kids your age and younger. I'm just fascinated by what you've achieved at such a young age, but you are doing a giveaway. And we decided it's going to be an ebook because you are in the UK and most of the people here are in the US. And to ask
so it's going to be really expensive if it's paperback. Yeah,
it'll cost you like $20, $30. So we'll give away an ebook. Now, is there a way for you to do an ebook from the UK to a US reader? I think there is.
I'll work it out. I don't know.
And if you have a problem, let me know. I can do it on this side for you.
Okay.
Just reach out to me and say, because I'm not even sure myself, but I believe there is a way. But if not, and it's too much of a headache, reach out to me and I'll just go ahead and take care of it for you.
Okay.
And, I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner for you. I will announce it in my group and I'll tag you and your mother and on my author page. And then I'm also doing my regular giveaway, which is the $5 Amazon gift card. And we all know how that works. I need you to go to my Amazon author page and share this video wherever you like, on Instagram, on Facebook, in your Facebook groups, and tag me. That way I know you shared the video, and you will be in the drawing for a $5 Amazon gift card, and you'll be able to buy Dylan's ebook too. So, Dylan, this is fantastic. It's been a wonderful interview. And when you get your next book coming out, reach out to me, and we'll get you.
I will.
Again, I would love to, see where you're going. And you're in the Read My Books group, so let us keep us posted in the group of what's going on too, and your mom too. And I will tag you. And if you see any questions that I missed, feel free to go into the comments and answer them. But I'm sure now you're going to go straight to bed.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Dylan. It's been a great chat.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. This will be uploaded to my podcast tomorrow, and I'll send you the links. Okay? Take care, everyone. Good night.